Hi everyone and welcome back to Evocative Scents. This is my second top 10 video which is focusing on just one brand, that is Lattafa. Not Maison Alhambra or any sub-brand, just Lattafa. And I will make sure to put the top 10 Ahmad Al-Maghribi in the top I button, and it was a lot difficult to choose the top 10 since there are a lot of Lattafa fragrances in my collection and many more which I don't have and haven't tried any time. And if you think any fragrances should have made into this list, make sure to put that in the comment section down below. And one more thing, I haven't included the Khamra in this list, though it is an excellent fragrance, because I will be covering the Khamra and its flanker, including the new Khamra Dukhan, in a totally different video. And if you are tuning into my channel for the first time, do consider subscribing to this channel. And if you love fragrances and fragrance related content, do not forget to hit that notification bell as well, so that you don't miss out on my new videos. Your support truly means a lot to me. Without any further delay, let's start this video. So let's begin from the number 10. It is the Liam Grey, not the blue one, because there are many fragrances that smell like Acqua di Gio flankers, because this one is something different. It can be a bit polarizing as well. What you are going to get with this is a little bit of spicy, sweet and black tea note, not the milky tea, but the bitter black tea. Although this fragrance has a bit of freshness to it, I still would not recommend it to the high heat summer. What I have found out with this fragrance is that performance isn't that great. You generally get about half an hour of projection with just 3 to 4 hours of longevity. So you have to refresh the fragrance a few times in a day. But despite the drawback, it is a very unique fragrance and it is also a perfectly unisex perfume, unlike the Liam Blue. By the way, this fragrance is supposed to be a dupe of Gris Arnel. I have never tried that one, so I can't say whether it is close to that one or not. On to the 9th fragrance of this list then. It's the Honor and Glory from the Bardial Oud lineup from the house of Lattafa. I haven't included the Oud for Glory because if you want that scent profile, I would highly recommend you to try the Bin Sheikh from Ahmad Al-Maghribi. It's a bit expensive but totally worth it. As far as Honor and Glory is concerned, it is very different. You are going to get a very smooth, creamy pineapple note with lot of sweetness along with bit of spiciness from the cinnamon and very light sandalwood note. I have covered this fragrance in a full review, so if you are interested in this product, I would highly suggest you to watch the full video. Again, this is a perfectly unisex fragrance and one which you can wear all year round. And one big advantage with this fragrance is that it is going to be a mass pleasing scent. Now let's move over to the 8th fragrance of this list, and this one is really fantastic. This is from their higher end Lattafa Pride series and it is the Vintage Radio. A very rich plum fragrance with deep sweetness, not sugary kind of sweetness, but more like candied fruit smell. Once again, it is perfectly unisex and extremely versatile, I would say. Performance is on the moderate side of the spectrum. It is fresh yet sweet at the same time with little bit of green edge to the smell. This one I have covered in a full review, so if you are somewhat interested in this kind of scent profile that is mild and very versatile in nature, I would highly recommend you to watch the full review before considering a full purchase. Now let's quickly move on to the 7th fragrance of this list, and it is a very interesting one from the Lattafa as well. In fact, the Jasur is a very good interpretation of the Valentino Uomo Born in Roma choral fantasy, and I also feel that this is a very underrated fragrance as well. If you are a college going student and want a fragrance that will get the attention, then this one might just be the perfect fragrance for you. This one has got the freshness along with the sweetness, a mixture that is perfect for compliment getting fragrance. You will get little bit of citruses along with fruitiness from the apple, and the tonka beans will provide just the right amount of sweetness. This coupled with the aromatic lavender just makes it a very nice smelling perfume. Although it leans slightly towards the masculine side, but it is not something that women can't pull it off. If you are in a climate controlled environment, you can certainly expect about 5 to 6 hours of longevity with a decent scent bubble around you. Let's move on to the 6th fragrance of this list. Now it's not a very surprising one. It is the Al Nasama Caprice. This one is inspired from the YSL La Nuit de l'Homme Blue Electric, which is now discontinued, and if you are lucky to get one, you might be getting at a highly inflated price. This fragrance has been featured in my videos for several times, and I also have done a complete review of this fragrance as well. In short, it is a beautiful cardamom fragrance with a strong lavender as its backbone. What makes this fragrance so good that it is extremely versatile, it is mass appealing, it gets you the compliments, definitely a masculine leaning fragrance, and it's suitable for all age groups. Longevity is again somewhere in the middle of the pack, and I guess that holds it back in the rankings. And now we are into the top 5. And the fifth one is the Asad, not the regular one, but it's the Asad bourbon. In my humble opinion, this one is the best in terms of smell and in terms of quality. A very sweet, warm fragrance that is perfect for cool weather, and I consider this a very good date fragrance as well. Now this unisex fragrance opens up with a slight fruity note. It is a bit chocolatey and a lot powdery as well. This fragrance is definitely not for the formal settings and is more appropriate for the evening or the night outs. And if you're someone who likes sweet fragrances, you should definitely check this one out. Now moving on to the fourth rank of this list, I have decided to keep two fragrances here. The newly released His Confession is an Irish based fragrance and it's a beautiful one for sure. The scent profile is somewhat similar to the Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé, but nothing like Dior Intense or Parfum. It begins with a warm spicy lavender note, and then there is the beautiful Irish note that takes the center stage. Then there is some sweetness and woodiness in the base, giving it a well-rounded smell. I would say this is an extremely versatile winter fragrance. It can be carried in the date nights or even in the formal occasions. And the smell is pretty unisex too. So the versatility factor is very high, just not a summer fragrance. But don't worry, the second fragrance of this list is a summer fragrance, or should I say it can be worn all year round. The Lattafa Ajaib Dubai Portrait White Edition. There is also a black one available with the same name, but that is entirely different and is a coffee based fragrance. While this one is a citrusy tropical with a beautiful mango note along with a creamy woody base. Even the performance is a strong point of this fragrance. The projection is loud and you will get decent to good longevity on clothes. A perfectly unisex fragrance that is suitable for casual situations. Now on the third rank of this list is a beast from the Lattafa, and it is the Atlas. It's not every day that we see fresh fragrances to have this kind of performance, but this one really does perform. This perfume is a clone of Ortho Parisi Mega Mare. This fragrance really captures the aquatic, salty, green smell very well. The ambroxan in this cologne gives this fragrance a solid push, a very loud fragrance that can be a bit off-putting for some people. So if you have an opportunity to try this fragrance, give it a try before considering a full purchase. And this is also one of the expensive fragrances from the regular Lattafa lineup because it doesn't come with a 100 ml quantity in it. So if you want a strong aquatic fragrance for a really hot summer day, then this is the perfect choice for you. Granted, you like this smell. Check out the full review of this fragrance on my channel. So now we move on to the second fragrance of this list, The Kingdom. It is a clone of Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mal Elixir and it does a very good job at it. It is a very sweet vanillic fragrance that is very well balanced by the aromatic lavender with a bit of mintiness at the top, giving it a fresh kick. There is vanilla here, there is tonka bean as well along with the benzoin. It is a warm, sweet, aromatic fragrance that is just perfect for cool weather. If you want a fragrance for clubbing or even as a date fragrance, this can absolutely be a great choice. Yes, there are a lot of clones of the Le Mal Elixir in the market, and this is one of the better ones, especially at the price this comes at. And once again, I have done a full review of this fragrance, and this is a cologne that you should definitely try once. This one is a popular DNA and certainly mass appealing in nature. And finally, the number one fragrance of this list. And perhaps this is one of the reasons that I have not put Khamra on this list. Because guess what? This is even better than the Khamra. There is that iconic sweet boozy smell coupled with the spiciness and the warmth from the cinnamon. This one is going to remind you a lot of fragrances for sure, be it the Khamra or the Kilian's Angel's Hair. But if you are going to test it side by side, you will notice that there is lot of differences here as well. It's a lot darker and has a bit of spicy element in it due to the presence of saffron. This is also a perfectly unisex fragrance with very good performance, and just like the Khamra or the Kilian's Angel's Hair, this one is also suited for the cooler weather and more suited for the evening or the night time. So like many other fragrances on this list, I have also covered this fragrance in my full review. So what are your thoughts on these fragrances from the Lattafa? And if you have tried any Lattafa fragrances, what is your favorite one? Do let me know in the comment section down below. And if you have any feedback for this or any of my previous videos, absolutely feel free to comment down below. And if you liked this video, hit that like button. And if you were watching my video for the first time and you love fragrance related content, hit that subscribe button as well, because your support really means a lot to me. If you took anything value of this video, make sure to hit that like button. So that's it for today's video. I will meet you all in my next video.